Get this free cake. Lay on the cake. Eat this cake. Get this free cake. Lay on the cake. Eat this cake. Order number 68.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You don't actually have to move. I'm just going to get in your personal space.
I don't know why I'm not seeing this up here.
Pre-K. That's it. Three, there's another one in the top of the page. The orange piece, we'll try to get another piece.
You don't actually have to move. I'm just going to get in your personal space.
Pre-K. That's it. Three, there's another one in the top of the page. The orange piece, we'll try to get another piece.
You don't actually have to move. I'm just going to get in your
Pre-K. Pre-K. Number 71.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm Simone, by the way. I've been running around.
Oh, Kenny. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. You in charge of our live stream thing?
Yeah, we're actually up and running.
Oh, good.
Number 71.
Meet you too. You in charge of our live stream thing?
Yeah, we're actually
Oh, good.
Number 71.
You in charge of our live stream thing?
Number 71.
You in charge of our live stream thing?
Number 71. 72.
Did you guys come to listen to poetry at Carnegie Mellon today?
Yeah!
At least 2 of you came to listen to poetry at Carnegie Mellon today. We are going to get started in just about 4½ minutes. So somebody please set that timer on your smartphone. 4 minutes, 30 seconds, and we are ready to roll.
I should go get my water.
Did you guys come to listen to poetry at Carnegie Mellon today?
Yeah!
At least 2 of you came to listen to poetry at Carnegie Mellon today. We are going to get started in just about 4½ minutes. So somebody please set that timer on your smartphone. 4 minutes, 30 seconds, and we are ready to roll. Did you guys come to listen to poetry at Carnegie Mellon today?
Yeah!
We are ready to get started in just about 4½ minutes. 4 minutes, 30 seconds, and we are ready to roll.
Yeah!
You're not the first.
It's poetry. I mean, I got a few F-bombs tonight.
Yeah. Have you been writing?
Really, I've been too busy. I got a teaching job.
Yeah. You know that?
Yeah.
Where are you teaching?
Antioch, where I got my doctorate from.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I teach organizational development and management ethics.
Yeah. Really? Good job.
I'm tired.
You having fun.
I think that's great.
We'll soon get to see whose hand that is. The man of the hour here?
Yeah.
Good.
Does everyone have something that looks relatively similar to this? Please take it out. Point it at me. I need you to do two things. The first one is put it on silence. The second one is, in all of your status updates and photographias on Instagram and other things where people put pictures, I would like you to please use hashtag force through speech so that we may repost these as evidence of this delightful evening we're having.
Relatively similar.
Got it? Does anybody have any questions about this thing? Please take it out. Point it at me. I need you to do two things. The first one is, now we're ready to get down to business.
We're not quite ready to get down to business. I lied.
As evidence of this delightful evening we're having.
Relatively similar.
Got it? Does anybody have Yeah. Okay. Now it's time to get down to business. This is my business space. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and all who reject the gender binary. My name is Lori Beth, and I am proud to be your host for the late night program Martin Luther King Jr. Day 2014 at Carnegie Mellon University. We are here this evening because on January 15th, 1929, Michael King was born in Atlanta, Georgia, and grew up to be known as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Carnegie Mellon University, Spirit, and the Pittsburgh Poetry Collective have joined together to bring you Force Through Speech. Hashtag Force Through Speech. As you enjoy this special showcase and as you listen to the artists we've assembled here tonight, we ask you to remember that our words and ideas are powerful, and social change often and only begins as spirited dialogue. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Well, then let's hear some poets make some poems. God, heaven, or the cosmos bless Anna Voelker, who I selected through no scientific idea whatsoever to go first this evening. Anna Voelker is a senior at Hampton High School. Ladies and gentlemen, just keep that in the back of your mind because you're going to forget it in about 37 seconds. She has won numerous poetry awards, including the Easter Day Poetry Award, the International Hillary Lindsay Young Writers Competition, and the West Coast Eisteddfod International Poetry Contest. I'm sure I didn't say that correctly. She plans on studying astronomy next year at a college that is yet to be determined, and enjoys spending her free time juggling, unicycling, and pretending that she can play the banjo. Ladies, gentlemen, and others, Anna Voelker.
Hello, I'm Anna, and like Lori Beth said, I'm from Hampton. So the first poem I'm going to read is an older poem of mine. It's called I Believe, and I wanted to read it today because it deals with beliefs that I hold with conviction. I just thought that fit well with this theme. So, without further ado, I believe. It is easy to think, but hard to believe. I think I believe, but do I believe what I think? 11 years in a Catholic hell, choking on regurgitated prayers. At times, I think I believe there is a God, then wonder if that's just the taste of other people's thoughts rotting in my mouth, half open in a feeble protest. You see, I believe that beliefs should be held with conviction, and so these are the truths of which I am truly convinced. The quintessence of beauty is homemade chocolate mousse. You can never grow too old to drink juicy juice. Love isn't overrated. What's overrated is overrating love. And I believe that everyone should get to marry whoever falls in that category stated above. Kindness without reason gives reason to live. To err is human, but it seems like no one gives a shit what it is to forgive. I believe in dancing and music, poetry, pillow fights, and doubt. If you have something to say, let yourself let it out. I believe in the value of believing, laughter, and the consoling power of apple pie, asking the unanswerable questions, embracing the word why. I believe in running into the ocean in my t-shirt and jeans. I believe that people are so much more than what they all seem. I believe in sprinting through the snow while others walk along the pavement perfectly plowed. To make your voice heard, you should not have to be loud. But if what you have to say is being masked because cascades of others' empty words are being mindlessly cast, don't be afraid to just stand up and scream to make the whole universe listen. Because I believe in words and the power they have to change the world that we live in. I believe that in a glass of chocolate milk, bubbles should always be blown. I believe in letting the dandelions in my front yard be grown, even if my father does not. I believe in embracing ideas, yourself, each other, your bad poetry. I believe in dropping a rhyme scheme to make a point. Thanks. Thanks. And this last and second poem I'm going to do is a piece I wrote for the students of my high school. And I wanted to perform it today because it's my way of using speech as a positive force. For you. Let me be clear. This poem is not about politics. It is not about the name on the red, white, and blue sign sitting in your front yard or the bumper sticker on the back of your car. This poem is not about left, right, or labels. I am not about labels, segregated directions, or political intentions. I am about people. So people, this one's for you. I'm asking you to listen. And if not to me, then to the creaking closet doors of these hallways. Because every time the word gay is used as a synonym for stupid, there is a kid whose closet door creeps that much closer to being closed shut. You see, when you call your friend gay, you are not being funny. You are demeaning an identity and sporting someone else's sexuality for the sake of a hollow insult or a witless joke. So before you belittle the personal preferences of other people, listen to what you are saying, because I promise you, that there is a kid with their head buried in feigned ignorance or a book or both who is doing exactly that. Listening to what your ear may perceive to be a harmless jest, but to theirs, it bears a consequence. Bullying is not always as simple as stealing the skinny kid's lunch money. It is embodied by every single attack made on someone else's being. However, indirectly, words like faggot have a corrosive effect, because you see, every kid listening to the shit you spit is shoved that much deeper into hiding, into themselves, into closets and people. Some closets are not deep enough. Carlos Mitchell's closet, age 17, was not deep enough. Josh Pacheco's closet, age 17, was not deep enough. Jamie Hunt's closet, age 15, was not deep enough. These are the kids who felt they needed 6 more feet between themselves and their school hallway hells, bullied into closets, escaping into caskets, because no one bothered listening until the only sound that was left was the resonance of their absence. People, do not let this poem be about absence. We are not about absence. We are about our presence and what we can do with it in the present to prevent more Jamies, Carloses, and Joshes from feeling like no one is listening. So listen up and speak up, because this poem is not about Thank you.
Anna Voelker. Up next. Aren't you glad you're not up next? Mr. Jude Waldo is a creative writing major with a concentration in poetry at Carnegie University. Waldo has been featured alongside the Steel City Slam League in Equal Magazine and has also been featured in the Garden of Peace Project newsletter. Waldo was the winner of the 2013 Marilyn P. Donnelly Award for Poetry at Carnegie University. He is also the MC for the Hungry Sphinx reading series and a youth coordinator for Young Steel, Pittsburgh's Youth Poetry Slam League. Without further ado, Mr. Jude Waldo.
Why, hello. All right, gender manifesto. This is my body, and it is not made of wine or bread. This is my body, and it does not rhyme with the words you put in front of it, like male, like female, like chick, like dude. This is my body, and like many others, it moves and grooves, and is often out of tune to the fancy tunings you ever heads tuned to, like man, like woman, like cock, like clit. This is my body, and I will not be giving it up for you. This is my body, small and hairy, but hard and mighty, scared and tiny, but loud and hairy, dressed in snazzy, high-fashion androgyny. This is my body, and I will not be giving it up for you. Even when it is clear that I am gender fucking you hard. Even when it is clear that I might be the reason you rethink your sexuality. You think, goodness gracious, I'm gay. Goodness gracious, I'm straight. Goodness gracious, I'm a lesbian. Goodness gracious, I'm not a lesbian. Or, god damn it, I might be bisexual. This is my body. Have a look. Formed to look like an hourglass, with a spirit raging inside, has the audacity to smash the glass and piss in its sand. This is my body. This is my body. And I will not be giving it up for you. Alright, I wrote this after all 5 branches of the military rejected me. The smoke turns me into a sugar skull, the smoke turns me into a sugar skull, the smoke turns me into a sugar skull, the smoke turns me into a sugar skull. My thoughts so hard, everything gets hairy, my thoughts so sane, everything gets wavy, my thoughts so sane, everything gets wavy, my thoughts so sane, everything gets wavy. The smoke turns me into a sugar skull, the smoke turns me into a sugar skull. I've seen it come through the TV static since I was a 6-year-old doing nothing more than staring. When I first saw the images, my face dripped out of the peaceful bike rides refilled with gas masks, MREs, and ghostified sun. I swore an oath to believe when I stand before the four-faced uncle, I would see nothing but a loaded gun, a pack of matches, a crumpled up photo of a pinup girl, and a waving flag. This is me discharging myself from that oath. I stand before you to disarm myself because now I am ready. I am ready to feel that shock that will thrill us and bend us into the shape of bullets. I am ready to feel that great zoom pierce through my body and take me like a claw machine. All that will be left will be the faint sound of me going vroom. I am ready for the explosions, the ones the minor key violin solos have been warning of. I'm ready to hear a train whistle as machines eulogy to the engineer. I am ready for the mystery to no longer be a threat. I am ready to sing hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah over the sounds of hand grenades and sirens. My TV will flash, mission accomplished. The smoke turns me into a sugar skull. 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 My eyes so hot, everything goes quick. My thoughts so sane, everything gets heavy. The smoke turns me into a sugar skull.
Thank you, Jude. Up next, we have Jacqueline Barnes, a Carnegie Mellon sophomore studying art with concentration in electronic media and creative writing. Miss Jacqueline
A dark girl sonnet. Don't hurt me. Loving comes a lot easier. A preference, you say. I say hatred. I'm the not wanted whore and scorned cur, cold eyes, cold heart. Dark girl sits solo. We're not allowed the warmth of embrace, moans, kisses, cutouts, and breaths are our ghetto. Human is the goal, we shout. They starve to clone our hips and lips, they look better elsewhere. Our minds, though, can't be replicated. We are Earth's final treasure, locked by threadbare code, passed by sister's warmth. We lift and see we're worth it all, and still are soft with dark. Our hearts beat out dreams of aortic heart. Gentle. You keep me stunted. You deny my right to the light, the air and the droplets of soft sky. I must have these things to live. But you say must is not good enough if I do not bloom the way you want me to. So you starve me of my nourishment and hope that I, a pink dahlia, bloom into a red rose instead. It then should be no surprise to you when I grow thorns in response and bleed your hand dry, because isn't this what you wanted? I will not stay in your glass jar and let my petals fall one by one. I will wreck the red and the havoc, and you will regret the day you dare to turn my petals into glass. Thank you.
Thank you, Jacqueline. Up next is Jay. There's two Jays. I don't spit very much. There are a couple of chairs here and a couple of chairs here. If you guys want to have a seat up yonder here in the very, very front. It's not church. Don't worry. So, the Jay that I'm pretty sure doesn't know those girls has been performing spoken word for the past 2 years, but has been writing poetry for much longer. When he's not vacationing in Middle Earth or preparing for the zombie apocalypse, you can find him doing casework for the state or teaching let's try that again. Or teaching martial arts to children and adults. Also, he can kill you with his brain. Jay.
If what doesn't kill you is making us stronger, we're gonna last longer than the greatest wall in China, or that rabbit with the drum. This ain't no 90s sitcom, this ain't no lesson on Far East architecture, this ain't no furry convention with a percussion section, this is a life of working class America. This is a life of what bill do we not pay this month, America? Turn the thermostat down and put on another 2 sweaters, America. Let's go to Denny's for our anniversary dinner, America. A lead balloon, not golden parachute, an EBT card, not MasterCard, a school lunch plan, not pension plan, America. And all our lives we've been silver spoon-fed rumors of that apple pie, sky's the limit, be anything you want to be, America. But I came home as a child to a refrigerator with nothing to eat but bread, milk, and leftover boxed macaroni and cheese. I've seen my father in red-faced shame and anger because he could not afford to buy me even a card for my 16th birthday, and I know he will never forgive himself for that. I've seen my mother, tears streaming down her face because the car that has to get both her and my father to their 3 jobs has a flat tire. And at 10 years old, I didn't understand much except that my mother was hurting, and that something in that broken piece of rubber was tied to her tears, and it took me another 10 years of life to understand why she cried even harder when I put my entire life savings of $9.50 in her hand, and her baby boy was the one to tell her, don't worry, everything's going to be okay. And despite a society that has come to view poverty as a birth defect, as a class-wide lack of intellect, as if food pantries and free clinics are what single mothers aspire to, as if the panhandler sitting on the side of the road jingling that cup of change is only doing it to keep beat with the angelic chorus in his head, as if the sensation of being stepped on every day of your life wouldn't eventually flatten your spirit. Despite all of that, everything really was okay, but I was one of the lucky ones. You see, even though my mother did not buy me my first car, she did get me my first book of poetry and my sense of humor. Even though the number 16 went unmarked in my household by a card, my father still taught me what 4 times 4 was. Even though the refrigerator was sometimes empty, the cupboards were always stocked with all of the love I could handle. And yes, I was one of the lucky ones, because not everyone has someone in their life to tell them, leave your mark on the world, son, do not let the world leave its mark on you. And for all those people and those children who still can't see the light at the end of that long-ass tunnel lined with sweat, dead-end jobs and midnight prayers, if I could tell you one thing, there's one thing I've learned. If there's one thing that I've learned while waiting for my turn, is that in each life some rain falls, but you also get some sun, and it'll work out better than okay. Here's what I say, yeah, any day. Do you want to see a magic trick? Yeah. I bet I could change any one of us in here into a poet. And quick change artists have nothing on me, because you're going to be sitting there sipping your Coke in plain view of the other spectators when suddenly your muse walks through the door, muscles its way through the crowd, takes the chair next to you like a blind date and says, hey, I was hoping to see you here. This fantastic feat of phonetics requires no sleight of hand, is no smoke and mirrors, needs no white rabbit pulled from Wonderland through a special hat. No, all that is required is a little faith and a lot of audience participation. And I'm going to let you in on a trade secret. This terrific task of transformation does not reside up here, or in this mic, or in this poem, but in you. Every single one of us has that ball of energy spinning in their hand, known as imagination, known as creation, known as poetry, so channel it. Do not let it go to waste when people die every day for the lack of it. Take it and create something magnificent. Shape something that reflects you so well, it's like gazing into a looking glass, that when you touch it, it sends sympathetic sensations throughout your skin, that when you walk away, it's like leaving your own shadow in the room. And if words aren't your God-given gift, if sentences make you stammer or grammar makes you groan, then dance till the floor catches fire beneath your feet and the world burns down around you. Sing till the very angels in heaven throw down their harps, quit their chorus just to listen to you. Paint so that a Pennsylvania forest in fall would be jealous of the colors you create. And if you still say, that's not who I am, what do I know of sonnets or sambas or sonatas or Cezanne? Remember, there is music to a mechanic who divines what is wrong with an engine just by listening to it. There is art to a carpenter constructing a home for a pair of newlyweds and their 3 children. There is meter to a teacher explaining the quadratic formula or introducing their students to Martin Luther King Jr. for the first time, because anything done with great love is poetry. So as I stand here, about to take my final bow, about to put away my levitation wires, linking rigs, and juggling pins, your drinks down to their last dregs and attentions beginning to wander, I take solace in the fact that regardless of what you think of my act, if you treated your muse well, plied it with some polite conversation, and bought it a few drinks, you just might go home tonight and make some beautiful poetry together.
Thank you, Jay. We got a lot of people to thank tonight. For poets, obviously, don't worry, we're not done. We're not anywhere close to done. You're not leaving anytime soon. Like, for real. There's no studying that is more important than this, right? I'm just saying. I don't know. I want to thank, while she's still here, Ms. Chanel Smith for helping make this all happen. Everything that happened today came out of the office of the Dean of Student Affairs, of which she is Assistant Director, as she is, bless her heart, sat at the conference table with me a couple of times to get this off the ground. And we are kicking off a big partnership with the Pittsburgh Poetry Collective, which is me, and No, it's not just me. We'll get to the other people that it is later. And spirits. At Carnegie Mellon University, we're going to go like wham, bam, and we're going to make an all-ages poetry slam here on campus at Carnegie Mellon University once a month, beginning in February. So follow us on the Facebook. We are going to make that happen, and we're just trying to nail down a date. And as soon as we get it, we're going to tell you what it is. So thank you, Chanel, and thank you, Spirit. And thank you, Steve-O, for having us. And thank you to the department who makes snacks at Carnegie Mellon University, because they sent us some snacks. There are some cupcakes and cookies, like in the dead center of this room. Like if you went upstairs and jumped off the balcony, you would land on the cookies. Please don't do that. There aren't that many cookies, but there are enough cookies that if you want one, you are more than welcome to have one. There are also cupcakes and brownies, and if you don't want the brownies, I will take them with me. Hi, Internet! We're live streaming right now. Did you guys know that? Hi! So if you have paper that you're reading off of, don't put it over here. Put it over here.
That's
if
right.
you want to be on the, I'm just saying, if you want to be on the internet, you could be a superstar. So, speaking of superstars, Shannon McCullough. Is a junior in the School of Material Science and Engineering with a double major in engineering and public policy. And Mr. McCullough would like to take all of those words that apply to degrees and classes and things and sound like loans to me, I don't know, and be a poet! Shannon McCullough!
Yeah. I'm going to read a poem. The title of the poem is Weeping and Naked, a Linear Trajectory. It's fall again, so my friends fall away. I write poems to chase, rewind, fall away. I write poems to chase, following a thought I can't swallow. I was told 23 years would be the worst in my life. I just don't know where the genesis is. I don't have demons of my own, so I guess other people's find it necessary to get in my way. Squirming, stand waiting for my fall, rewind to get in my way. Squirming, stand waiting for my fall, seconds after Eden. Looking for the lost wandering, rewind seconds after Eden. Looking for the lost wandering, drawn back to the flame. Lust is strong, rewind, drawn back to the flame. Lust is strong, but humanity. My heart is slowing down and my respect is leaking, so my mind, rewind, is leaking, so my mind is sprinting. Poetry, rewind, is leaking, so my mind is sprinting. Poetry, my last great escape. I too want to spread harshness, immortal and immoral, but humanity. Ahead hasn't been walked yet, but we're sowing landmines made of glass instead of breadcrumbs. The youth is hungry, rewind, landmines made of glass instead of breadcrumbs. The youth is hungry, sorry, Heron. Still for legalized smoke and fucking in the streets, rewind. Still for legalized smoke and fucking in the streets. Some look, but humanity. People, announce your course. I will listen with tears ready to fall. Why? Ask the children with forest fires in their lungs and fingers in their ears. When history becomes history, I will not claim this time. When God asks, rewind, I will not claim this time. When God asks, rewind, I will not claim this time. When God asks, rewind, I will not claim this time. When God asks, I will have questions of my own. Just know, rewind, I will have questions of my own. Just know, I have almost given up on us. Live as you wish. Rewind, live as you wish, rewind, us, rewind, giving up, rewind, just know, rewind, when God asks, rewind, when history, rewind, asks, rewind, I will, rewind, announce, Something look, rewind ahead, rewind, but humanity, rewind is sprinting, rewind back to, rewind Genesis, rewind 3, rewind 23, rewind following, rewind a linear trajectory, rewind weeping and naked.
Thank you, Shannon McCullough. Everybody else did too. You got another one?
I don't know about you guys, but it's my show right now, and I would love to hear him do another poem.
I mean, but really,
We
it's
won.
going to get happening on the phone. We're going to move on. We're going to come back to, because Shannon's going to be back up here on stage a little bit later. So we'll do that later. Awesome. Good deal. Moving on. Where's Angel? Angel Wallace? Hi, Angel Wallace. I'm Laura Beth.
Hi, Laura.
It's very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
So sometimes when you're me, you put your home address and your phone number on the internet on a thing called the Pittsburgh Literary Calendar, which is the greatest place to go and learn about poems in Pittsburgh. Thank you very much, Samsonia Way, for the Pittsburgh Literary Calendar. I love it. I support you. And people call you. So today I talked to Angel Wallace, and now she is here at Carnegie Mellon University for #Force Through Speech. Spirit presents in conjunction with the Pittsburgh Poetry Collective. Our next poet is Lexi Tess. Lexi Tess has been slamming in Pittsburgh since 2012. It's not that long ago. She went to the National Poetry Slam with the Steel City Slam team this past August, which was awesome. Her words, not mine. She will be going to Texas in March to Austin to represent Pittsburgh at the Women of the World Poetry Slam. That is WOWPS. If any of her poems make you feel things like emotions, definitely go say hi to her after the show. It is likely that she recently ate a tuna sandwich, but she will be very careful not to breathe in your face. Lexi Tess, ladies and gentlemen.
A lot of people here in this room. So I've only ever done this poem once, and I feel like I'm supposed to give a trigger warning because it's about sexual assault. So I don't know how trigger warnings work, but that's the warning. This is the trigger warning. None. The number of months it takes to wrap up a sexual assault case. I'm still restless leg rocking in the waiting room of hours. I have an appointment with my period. She's late. 1. When I met you at an ayahuasca ceremony, an all-night spiritual experience like 10 years of therapy in 10 hours. I trusted you, shaman. Jaguar man who laughs loud and last. Predators don't fear prey. No sweet beast will size you up with her incisors so you sleep easy. No recurring nightmare of nails slicing SOS in your back. 1. At night, I used to cozy up in my nest and dream of flight. But when I spread my wings now, there you are. A Cheshire grin in the dark, daring me to jump, swearing that you'll catch me. But a betrayed trust fall shatters deeper than bone. 9. When the world stops making sense, numbers come out of order, repeat themselves like the bag lady in the subway, suddenly so sane. I want to call to her, but a fist of your pubic hair is clogging my throat. 1. When you were done with me, you sank onto the couch, a weary working man, ordering his housewife, now go make breakfast. And I did. My brain was as scrambled as the eggs you wanted. Shh, all over, easy. 1. When you were done, you sailed back to your life. Ooh. I'm gonna read it. It's what's gonna happen randomly. I'm all out of order, if that's what happens. 1. You were too busy rocking the ship of my body to notice when all that is light in me fell overboard. You sailed back to your life, a pirate proud of his stolen booty, while I've been treading water. in a frigid sea. None, only alive thanks to muscle memory, while sirens circle and sing, just drown. 911, 911, what's my emergency? I'm lost, and I want to go home. But when I turn to friends for guidance, their faces are maps that only confuse me further. The North Star barely looks up from her phone to ask, well, was it consensual at like any point? I open my mouth, but a bloated ocean of brine spills in. Drowning looks a lot like this. Slow shrug, black ice eyes. But see, shaman, get too cocky and you're bound to slip. I found your wife on Facebook. Should I congratulate you on the birth of your son, born 1 week from the day you pressed your hands to my stomach? I know I froze, but did you feel me kicking in there? You tried to steal strength from the wrong woman. Look out your window. I've sent a nightmare your way. Looks like red and blue flooding your doorstep. Sounds like a siren, like you're the one who's fucked now. So that poem, which is true, helped writing that poem. For me, that was like the dark night of the soul times a million. I didn't even know it could get that dark. And I'm on the other side of it now. So for me, force through speech, this theme, there's writing your darkness and going into your fear, which is fucking terrifying, but you get through it and you're stronger. And then there's also writing the love and finding the flip side of that and the strength of love. So this poem is my happy place poem to balance out my horrible place poem. So this one's called Locket. Love me like a childhood crush. Brush past me in the cafeteria as you rush to the front of the grilled cheese line. Let's fight for the last sandwich. All day glow golden with obese amounts of butter. Butter me up with buttercups. Chase me when I wear that woven crown, cause I'm the queen of recess. And I double dog dare you to erase from here to the farthest fence. My 10-year-old chest is flatter than a happy-faced pancake. And I've got legs so gangly you'd think Gumby was my father. You don't stand a chance. When I stand half a head taller than you, call me Behemoth, call me Medusa. I don't care if you're too scared to look me in the eye, just call me. Call after me one day when we get off the school bus, hey, as the autumn air whips the warmth of leather seats away from us. Ask me if I'm going to cut through the park. Leaves will flutter in my gut as I try to cling to the slick and bare branches of, oh yeah, sure. But when our mitten tips touch and I feel that static spark, I might slip. If I fall into a leaf pile, leap in after me like we've never had a vocab quiz on the definition of cool or self-conscious. Swim around in all the colors of change with me. Together, let's peer up at the endless blue beyond the clouds, safe from the bottomless sadness of adults, lost children who've forgotten how to find their way back to the beauty of this world. But we'll remember. From beneath maple-shaped puzzle pieces, it just takes one turn of the head to kaleidoscope the sky. When I ask what you think happens when we die, make me laugh like I've never kissed a loved one last time. Like I haven't yet learned that heartache has never been a metaphor, that its claws dig in and wrench apart with a ferocity unlike anything I ever feared from the monsters in my closet. So please, knock your funny bone into mine. Send giggling shivers up my spine. Go ahead. Make me pee my pants. Make me laugh so hard my double helix legs can't save my jeans. I won't get angry. You'll be giving me a moment so private, it will turn my journal into a diary. So love me like you're 10 years old. Like you are so full of questions about life that your mommy and daddy don't have the answers to. Chase me like I do. Like all the answers are flower petals pressed inside my locket. Ask me to open up, and I'll ask you for the password. You already know it, I'll tell you. You've just forgotten, remember? Open sesame, you'll shout, with a Christmas Day smile. Having never had my heart broken, I won't hesitate to open my treasured chest for you. And I will love you then, like no grown-up ever could. Thank you.
Thank you, Lexi Tess. So, Jay, the other Jay, whose last name I did not clear for pronunciation, Oriola. Jay Oriola, sitting over there, ladies and gentlemen, is a spring 2013 University of Pittsburgh alum, hailing from Atlanta in the DMV. Jay has been writing poetry and doing spoken word for about 4 years now. He has written pieces for Pitt's Blackline magazine. He was the 2011 Fair Housing Poetry Slam first place recipient, and he travels to perform whenever he can. Jay Oriola.
You see, I met her before, and this is the second time she messed my name up, so it's all good. But my name is Jay Oriola. Let's all say it together. Oriola. All right, it's a Nigerian name, so I'm gonna just do a couple poems, and I'm gonna take my seat. The first one is really a glimpse into the life of a poet, because a lot of people take it for granted. They don't really know what goes on in our lives, so this is it. Poets, our bodies function differently. We make love with our mind unprotected, and we give birth through our mouths. We shake hands every time we blink, and we dance with our wrists. We wear our hearts not on our sleeves, but on our knuckles, so we literally fight to feel. And we breathe through the pores in our skin, so every touch literally takes our breath away, you see? We are allergic to the usual, but we sneeze onomatopoeias. Our words are gums that grow teeth. We chew on eardrums and digest sound. We gargle ink like mouthwash, and we smile through the calluses in our palms. We kiss with the lips that are on our fingertips, and we hug when our hands turn into fists. Poets, we live different lives. Our day starts when your day ends. You see, we don't use alarm clocks. We wake up to a jazz band performance, of trumpet bird chirps, of trash can pickup drum sets. We wake up to trash can pickup drum sets and a sun-rayed solo guitar string strumming in the background. Our workday consists of us eavesdropping on subtle conversations between the wind and the trees, between goodbye hugs and trembling knees, between a brain that wants but a heart that pleads and bleeds, between lost souls under confused feet and the faithful ground that still supports them underneath. We do not own any briefcases, but we do carry passionate pencils like Olympic torches. We lug around thick notebook paper like a wooden cross, and when the two meet, it sounds like dynamite hissing through a room full of silence. We don't do what you do. It sounds like dynamite hissing through a room full of silence in the basement of hell. You see, each stroke of the pencil is like a match being lit over and over and over. We don't do overtime either, because our work stays with us, ready to die messages strapped to our tongue like a suicide bomber, daring us to swallow and call their bluff. You see, normal has never been enough since I was a child. You see, we eat differently. For dinner, we saute our thoughts, we deep fry our addiction, we boil our beliefs and watch our faith rise like steam. We season our speech, we mix it all up, put it on a plate of honesty and dive face first. To quench our thirst, we squeeze courage out of fear, like sweat out of a wet towel. For dessert, we bake our insecurities in our oven-like throat and spread confidence all over it like icing on a cake. Poets, we sleep differently. You see, unlike y'all that count sheep and watch cows jump over the moon, poets, our imagination is on Adderall. See, we would rather slingshot them. We would rather let them fly like javelins across the field of our mind, impaling that moon, watching it slowly come down like a deflating balloon. You see, our dreams are amusement in parks. A 3-ring circus for creativity, but pure hellfire for any doubt. You see, any way it gets in here, one way or another, it will be spoken back out. See, poets, we even die differently. Our heart stops pumping when our mouth stops speaking. Our blood stops running when our tongue stops leaking. My esophagus is an underground railroad for enslaved feelings to find their way up north and to be spoken free. You see, we speak, we move. My mouth is a verbal fireplace, a portable heater. Everybody here enjoys the warmth, but my first purpose is to vent, is to release. You see, if you ever see smoke coming out of my nostrils, just know that they are two chimneys expelling smoke from the fire that baptizes my peace. I need to release. And yes, that is selfish. And now we all know it, but if we didn't do things differently, we wouldn't be poets. I'm gonna do one more poem and I'm gonna sit my black butt down because my back is hurting. But this poem is, I was gonna do it, but then I said I'd do it, so I give a disclaimer. It's a little bit touchy to anybody that's, well, I ain't even gonna give y'all that. It's a little bit touchy, so you take it how you want to take it, but it's a disclaimer on it. You see, most people are afraid to show the skeletons in their closet. You know, the dusty experiences that we iron and put on hangers, the starved memories that we neatly fold and store in our dresser drawers, and the forgotten souls that we once loved but now toss in a dirty hamper. You see, those skeletons. But no, not us, I mean me. You see, my skeletons are not skeletons at all. They are fresh bodies, they are ripe cadavers, they are crisp corpses that I have baited, hooked, and raptured myself. I fling them into my closet and I stack them high. I stack them high. I stack them higher than the Tower of Babel, touching the ceiling of heaven, but I buried them lower than the gravel beneath the basement of hell. You see, this is our society's show and tell. This is the elephant in the room that we put a clown nose on. I've been trained to be a serial killer since I was a child. I've been taught that little bros are precious and delicate, and us young boys, we're really just plain and wild. That the toxic testosterone tiptoeing through my veins made me a tiny tyrant who wasn't meant to be tamed, so technically it's okay to terrorize those who are traveling targets, or better yet, easy prey. For so long that question went unanswered. My curiosity became hollow, so I began looking for space fillers. You know, where the head goes, the body will follow. Where the head goes, the body will follow. Where the head goes, the body will surely follow. By high school, my brain migrated out of my skull and began hibernating in my dick head, so I assumed the space between my ears was meant to stay empty. My conscience even had the goal to ask if it could renew its lease, but my ego whispered, nigga, don't tempt me. Your premises, you need to leave. Most of my friends craved to be killers. I was surrounded by teenage Jeffrey Dahmers, Ted Bundys, and even a smooth-talking Adolf Hitler. In the daytime, we would keep our thoughts inside our head, but at night we grew Inspector Gadgets between our legs, creating weapons and tools clever enough to sneak inside of hearts, minds, as well as beds. The killing spree has started. This is the weekly diary that I kept as a child. Day one, we would come from behind and rob girls of their security. It was a stick-up. If they would resist, we would blow out their backs. Our shotguns never missed. Day two, our hands would turn into vultures, ripping and peeling off clothes like dead skin off of a carcass. The one who did it the fastest would be praised as the smartest. Day three, our fingers were like cigarette burns on their skin, blowing smoke out of their chimney, but we didn't care what they wanted. You see, they weren't our daughters. I still wonder to this day what I would think the day I become a father. Day four, we were trained assassins with two fully loaded testicle twin Glocks. We were greedy pirates, and since everyone knows X marks the spot, we were coached to spot double X chromosomes sitting there, either walking or home alone. Day five, you hear that silence? She said, it's yours. We were glorified thieves, stealing what was really gifts and stripping a sense of security off of torn sleeves. Day six, we left deep scratches like lashes on their backs, made sex slaves out of free spirits. Day seven, our minds Our smiles were masks and our eyes were binoculars into their past. We would write down the blueprint of their inner temple till we had them praying on their knees. You called it blasphemy, but I think her name was Brittany. You see, right now, everybody in here is looking at me, shaking their head, saying this is such a shame, but you are equally as guilty. Nobody ever asks and says it's okay to rape. But at will, we still remain silent and wash our hands clean with the same blood that we have spilled. To the young men here, do not disgrace this generation of queens. As bad as you want to be labeled a king, you must first display that you can think, walk, and live as a human being. My question is, how many self-esteems will we bait, grab with hooked hands, and then gut like a fish, place their beauty on a pedestal, but first tattoo it on our hit list? How many street corners will we turn into comfortable graveyards? A cemetery full of you asked for it moans, a sidewalk like hungry coffins digesting. How could the fuck could this happen to me souls? Is it really yours? The truth is, we have been homeschooled. Since no one is our parent, no one has taught us that not everybody is somebody. This much mean why we have sex and we literally count our bodies. Grab your calculator. When lust divides what was meant for love, when desire subtracts from holiness and multiplies with loneliness, we are stuck with addition. So add the memories, plus the nightmares, plus the stories, plus the encounters, and finally add the people. Place it all neatly in your closet and shut the door and look in the mirror and ask yourself, what does that equal?
Man. Are you having fun?
Yeah.
Okay. I just thought I would check. Woo!
Yeah.
A long breath out. Folks, up next, Dr. Tera McIntosh is my boss at the Pittsburgh Poetry Collective and affiliate faculty at Antioch University, where she received her doctorate degree. Woohoo! I'm going to get docked for that. In leadership and change. She is a contracted consultant for various nonprofit organizations and communities through Western Ohio and Southwestern PA. That's where we are right now. She is the co-founder of Project Coffee House, a nonprofit that launches coffee shops in emerging areas whose revenue is redirected back into the immediate community. She is also the co-founder of the Young Steel Youth Poetry League and Pittsburgh Poetry Collective. Tera is a performance slam poet who's competed at the National Poetry Slam in 2012 and 2013. Her poetry has been published in the online literary magazine Randomly Accessed Poetics. She sits on the board for Angry Capitalist Ventures, a social entrepreneurship nonprofit out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Garden of Peace Project, a nonprofit based in Pittsburgh that works with trans, gay, lesbian youth and adults. She drinks too much coffee, does not eat nearly enough pizza. Dr. Tera McIntosh, everybody.
First, I just want to give a shout out to LB. Lori Beth over here, she's the face of the Pittsburgh Poetry Collective and a beautiful one. A couple of years ago, we just were slamming at a bar, and we just had a monthly event, and occasionally we went out and did some other things, and we kind of just got together and said, hey, let's start an organization that kind of starts a youth slam and that does more and does partnerships throughout the community. So, I mean, since then, we've been featured in Equal Magazine. We've had a partnership with Carnegie Library. We started Young Still, the Youth Poetry League. We've got a declaration from the city council, actually, for Young Still, and all those things. And now we have a new partnership with CMU Spirit. So all those things LB has all been a part of, and none of us get paid for doing this. We just do it because we love it. We want to see poetry stay alive in Pittsburgh. So Lori Beth does a lot, and I'd just like to thank her. So. always wonder, if I left this world early, what would I pass on? What would I leave to those who knew and loved me? Would the waves I made here ripple onto those who remembered me? Would they remember my stories? What made me? What I believed in? Would they know that I believe that playing with magic grow dinosaurs on a Friday night is completely acceptable as an adult? Or that I believe in strangers with scruffy beards and pickle jars? I believe in shoving those last 2 bites in because it's just so close to gone and you can't put that little in a to-go box. I believe in everything till it's disapproved. Unicorns, dragons, Santa, a winning season for the Cleveland Browns, Mayor Luke. Shit, forget that. I believe that Tupac is still alive because he was wearing the new Jordans in his last video that were not released until after he died. I believe that my mom's spaghetti is better than all your mom's motherfucking spaghettis. I believe in fortune cookies and handkerchiefs and swings, and that brothers and sisters should never be nice to each other until after the age of 15. I believe that visits to the dentist are semi-equivalent to getting attacked by 15 porcupines while Justin Bieber plays on repeat in the background. I believe there's nothing that can heal a broken heart like Grandma and Grandpa's house. I believe that the only correct way to eat a slush puppy is to mix the red and blue together. I believe in SVU marathons and trips to Giant Eagle just for ice cream. I believe that poetry is not dead. I believe there is no bad day that the NSYNC's greatest album cannot fix. I believe in Book It, and somebody owes me 3,650 fucking pizzas. I believe there's still good people in this world, like I believe in aliens, and aliens really do exist. I believe in love, like Diego believes Dora knows where the fuck she is going. And even I believe that some things aren't meant to last forever. I believe when poets stop writing the stories we tell, we die. I believe that my poems are each a chapter of my autobiography. So if you're wondering, what has she passed on? I suppose you could pick up my moleskin and read it like it's the last book of the series. This time, the author didn't get tired. When the moon decides to sleep, I lay my head where yours used to be. When I sleep, my hands, they leave me. They pick up pens and moleskins and write poems of you. Sometimes they write about us being perched in treetops, swinging from tree branches, talking about the silliest things like, how many of your feet are we away from the moon? Or whose armrest is whose at the movie theater, because that shit's confusing, like, is this one theirs, or is this one mine, or is it ours? Sometimes they write about you being so far away, like when the remote is on the other couch and you can see it and almost reach it, but not even stretching my hands out can bring you closer to me. Sometimes they write about how it feels to be knocking on your door on late summer days. Knuckles on wood, hearts on fire. Sometimes they write about how it feels to hold you. They held you the same way the pizza crust holds all the cheese together. They learned you the same way they learned to write cursive. Repetition, repetition, repetition. But in my dreams, these hands, they never surrender. They never push you away. They unstack bricks that keep me from you and instead build castles. They write about castles and moats and the length of your love. They traveled by boat. They plant seeds of you. They prune away the weeds as they watch you grow. Sometimes these hands, I just don't think they can write anymore. Sometimes they write things backwards because that's just what we do. And sometimes they scribble out your name because that's just what I do. But they never push you away. They never surrender. They never wave goodbye. These hands could pull triggers and untie the knots that keep you attached to me. But when they write about you, they're warm, as if they have been too close to the sun. They are soft, as if they've been a blanket wrapped around your body, keeping you warm for years now. Sometimes, when I sleep, my hands, they leave me. Just tell me, do they ever make their way to you?
Let's take back Dr. Tera McIntosh. So you guys are so far away. Huh? You can still hear me, right? Can everybody still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah? I would like to take a moment, please, to thank the gentleman responsible for you being able to hear me right now. His name is Ian. Thank you, Ian, for coming out tonight to be our AP Tech. Ian. Up next, Torrey is a slam poet who recently moved to Pittsburgh from New York City. I'm a little crazy, I can't help it. Torrey represented Jersey City Slam at the National Poetry Slam last summer and will be a featured performer at the Glastonbury Festival next year. So, give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for Torrey!
Thank you guys. So I have two poems for you. First one is actually the first slam poem I ever wrote, but I thought it was kind of appropriate for tonight. I wrote it 13 years ago, but I still kind of like it, so you guys do. It's called The Interior. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery, none but ourselves can free our. But freedom feels restricted in this bureaucracy of aristocracy. Embedded in hypocrisy, they rule us, school us, and try to tool us into thinking this is a democracy. Wishing we could all share the power, but sometimes it feels like someone else is controlling the tower. While poor children cry and cower, bathing in low-pressure showers, standing on street corners, selling flowers. Hearing, obey, boy, do what I say, Roy, you better put that shit away, boy. It's the same old story with a fresh new start. Society sometimes is this piece of art composed of Homer, Lisa, Bart, living out of shopping carts, dodging bullets like a game of darts, creating these statistics I keep seeing in the charts, but the biggest fight should be going on in our hearts. You've got tall versus small, superior, inferior. But when I look at the interior, this world is free. Now can't you see? Just feel the mud beneath your feet. Squish it in between your toes. Hey Joe, how does your garden grow? Because if not you, man, no one's gonna know. Once you truly feel that freedom, you will see that you don't need them. You don't need their lies, don't need their truth, don't need their sentimental proof of right and wrong to justify a lifetime of coercive lies. Once we see the truth, my friends, well then our lives are ours again. Get up, stand up. Is this what you've learned? If so, to live free is a right you have earned. So look inside and face it, embrace it, stand your ground whenever they try to mace it, fight for your right, your line of sight, rage, 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 rage against the dying of our light. Look out, look up, look deep down inside, ignoring the boundary of my two blue eyes, because sometimes through them all I see is people thinking they are free. Being told what they should be, bound in chains and yet holding the key, and never thinking to just be me. So when you saunter forward from here, let your spirit be your guide. When facing ourselves, we have nothing to hide. Run forward, run back, pick up the slack, learn to distinguish opinion from fact, uncover the mysteries, discover our minds, because I'm afraid that our history is going to leave us behind. If we don't seize it, hold it, stop trying to remold it. Don't let them taint it, tear it, or fold it. I lived the day I realized that no battle can be won until the whole bloody war has begun. Okay, and this one, so I took like a bunch of pieces from different poems and tried to put them together into a poem, so this is new in that way, so we'll see how it works. It's called Suppose I Stand Here. This dream of peace and love, That promise of a dove, flying high overtop me 1,000 days above, I chase it. I trace along its path and find anger and wrath dispersing. My life now traversing over long lost verses that I might have otherwise discarded. But now I can see opportunity. Once immersed in a cloud, it shines clear to me now. The passions I crave and the sins I regret, it all swirls together and I beget the child of my mind. Trying to live, it burns my throat and I swallow it whole. She begs and pleads and I try to knead the knots out of my spine because I have been slouching for too long. The range of escape is bound only by the cage at the nape of my neck. Beneath my fingertips, between these tender lips, there is strength. Breaking free from the binds until full battleships are sailing between the gaps in my teeth. But sometimes I still get discouraged. A society divided by status and race, where the people you pass sometimes won't even look you in the face, where life is led by statistics and tests, and everyone secretly wants to be the best. We have these laws of humanity, but they're a fraud. Because when payday comes, we build our factories abroad. Just do well in school and get a good job. Act like a lady, work like a dog. Get a 9-to-5 job with 2 weeks vacation. Deposit your money and support inflation. Make sure you spend more on fine wine and beer than a welfare family collects in a year. Responding to bigotry with indifferent silence. Building atomic bombs and then discussing cartoon violence. Daughters without jobs, boys inside mobs, smiling in this mirage, they are complacent as it robs them. But I press further than these sobs because I know I am longer than a history that binds me. And I am stronger than a fate that reminds me of who I am supposed to be. Because suppose I want to pose by a different tree. Suppose I rise up, rightful, true, and free. Suppose I chose to never be discreet, to not doze with my time until the whole world was free. People are not motivated by intimidation. Warnings of evictions, invasions, and inflations only leave us feeling deflated. Instead, nurture my imagination. Inspire them and they will follow you. Inspire them and they will lead. Thank you guys.
Torrey, everybody. So, are you ready? Are you ready for me? Shannon McCullough is going to come up and share with us just a few brief words regarding spirit. Don't worry, I won't hurt you. Now, the spirit activity chair, who I have been working with, is Miss Simone Lessington. How to email. I swear. Poor thing. But we're working together now, the PPC and Spirit, and Shannon's going to do another poem, either before or after he tells you more about Spirit.
So Spirit is the Black Awareness Organization, Carnegie Mellon University. We do a lot on campus. It's sort of like a big family that we have here. We're hosting events throughout the year. You'll find them up on flyers. I don't know, we have a buggy team. Like, there's a lot of stuff we do, and we're trying to make a big impact. And a lot of the time, even though we are a Black Awareness Organization, we're trying to get the whole campus involved and sort of, just get our message out there. Okay, I missed. I should say. Yeah. So I guess the second poem I'll read, I'm extremely nervous, but the second poem I'll read, my mom never hears. Hi, Mom! Look at that. Yeah, well, stick with me till the end. The title of the poem is Ayo Bitch. He treats her like a dog, and she lets him. Ayo, bitch. She slinks her way towards him, come, lays her lightness across his legs, sits, kisses him on the cheek, stay, and shivers as his heavy tongue finds her neck. Shake. I'm the only one who ever sees this. They leave to his place, come, shake, roll over. It breaks my heart every time I see you with him. So here I sit, my arms empty and that feeling like I'm going to be sick, resting on the lining of my stomach. I had figured out what I needed to be successful. My vernacular, the way I talk changed. It went from she to this bitch, from some movie Saturday to yo, come through tonight. I went from wanting to infiltrate your soul by massaging words into your open pores to wanting to pour into your openness. Your soul is beautiful, but your body is fuckable, and you sure know how to flaunt what we want. I wish I could have both halves of you. I don't want to be like this, but having pieces of you is a whole lot better than nothing at all. These days it seems we're all soulless anyway. I figured it is easier when I leave respect at the threshold, smeared across the doorframe, asking God and his angels not to look into this house. I figured it's easier when you left respect in the last dude's room, because everyone knows the last nigga just left room, so here you are, trying to fill up again. I want to be in love with you, but either way I'll wind up with your smell on my sheets, missing you, except one is over in 10 minutes, come, shake, roll over, and the other isn't over until the pulverized pieces of my heart are small enough to make it to the other side of the hourglass. How do you expect me to love your hourglass when condoms cost less than dinner for two and a dozen roses, when rumor has it both are just acceptable to you? I wish you would make me fall for your completeness. But why would I buy the cow when I know the milk always messes me up later? I collect the pieces of your name that I leave on the floor. Beautiful, caring, innocent, no longer fit, old poems. Who knew they made jigsaw puzzles with extra pieces? I guess they understand people don't appreciate what they don't have to fight for. I realize I've been watching myself for a while now, and I have no clue where the divide is or when it happened. So here I sit, a sheep in wolf's clothing, calling out, "Hey yo, bitch, can I whisper you a poem?"
Thank you, Shannon McCullough. Are you guys still with me? Everybody still with me?
Yeah.
Woo! We have more poems. So, now you know what Spirit is. Spirit and the Pittsburgh Poetry Collective are going to make beautiful music together here at Carnegie Mellon University. Mostly words, less music. It's a figure of speech. So the Pittsburgh Poetry Collective is an umbrella organization, and under that has Young Steel, which is our teen high school poetry thingamabob that we do, slam. We have the Steel City Slam, which is for adults. That is where you compete to get a slot on National Poetry Slam team, which you've heard some of our National Poetry Slam competing poets so far here this evening. We also have Word Up, which is Poets for Hire. If you want poets to come and perform at your event, you can do that with us. And we have Word Play. Those are our writing workshops. We have one of those actually before every slam, 1 hour before. Someone will facilitate a workshop. They might bring a prompt, or they might work on a piece with you that you're already working on. So we're going to carry that over into our Spirit Slam. On the table right next to the cookie table, you can sign up to be on our mailing list, which is basically me typing all of the manic things I've been saying into this microphone. It's really fantastic. Also, our business card with the Twitter and the website and everything is on that table. There are also both of those things on top of the microwave. So if you want to be on the mailing list, if you want a business card, grab that. Also available, I have a couple of Steel City Slam chapbooks from like 2 years ago. If you want to fight over them, we could do like rock, paper, scissors, and I would just give it to you first come, first serve at the end of the show. So you have to stay till the end of the show. Also available for sale, not for free, from our esteemed feature William Evans, our chapbooks. They are blue. They cost only $5! When I say $5, they cost $5. You guys say only $5. Okay, let's try it. They cost $5.
Only $5?
That's so reasonable. We've been working on our calls and responses. It's going really well. So, Speaking of the National Poetry Slam, 2 years ago in Charlotte, North Carolina, I went to my first National Poetry Slam. And obviously, I can't focus on anything long enough to write a 3-minute poem, but all of this 30 seconds at a time in between poets, I'm not so terribly bad at. And one Mr. William Evans, bless his ever-loving heart, took me under his very capable wings and taught me everything I know about hosting Poetry Slam at the national level. I happen to think that he is totally fantastic, and so I invited him to come here today to make poems for you. That's what happens when you're the email goddess. You just get to be like emailing people and scheduling things. You can do pretty much whatever you want. So, our featured poet for the evening. We are not done with local poets. We have a couple more of those, and we're going to put them up after the feature, which is like, we're just figuring this out. So, William Evans is a writer, instructor, and performer from Columbus, Ohio. It's not that far. They have a weekly show. You can go there. He is the founder of the Writing Rocks Poetry Slam. That's what it's called. William has created the largest weekly poetry open mic currently operating in the city of Columbus. He also founded the NuGrowth Youth Poetry Slam, in addition to hosting the first ever Columbus All-District High School Poetry Slam. So,
nice.
yeah. You guys like it when young people write poems? Do you want to talk about it? Tell me how you feel about it? No? You're like, oh, that's really nice. So, as an artist, William is one of the most successful performance poets to come from Columbus and the state of Ohio as a whole. He made his second appearance on a slam finalist stage at the National Poetry Slam in 2011 as a member of the Writing Wrongs team, in addition to his 11th place finish at the Individual World Poetry Slam in 2009. He has performed on 7 Columbus National Poetry Slam teams while being an artist in residence for both the Columbus Wexner Center and Columbus City Schools. William released his first full-length manuscript in the event You Are Caught Behind Enemy Lines in August 2009 from Penmanship Books of Brooklyn, New York. Previous to that, he released the chapbook Humble Shell Casings on JK Publishing, in addition to 2 poetry CDs. We don't have those. I'm not going to tell you what they're called. Currently, Will Evans tours the country and facilitates writing workshops through Projecting Murals LLC, a nonprofit organization that connects facilities such as schools, community centers, and correctional facilities to artists from the community. He founded that nonprofit in April 2009. Will Evans is a fantastic writer and poet and host of things who I am very thankful to have ever met through poetry, and I am very, very honored to have him come to this stage right now and share his work with you. So please help me welcome with enthusiasm Will Evans from Columbus, Ohio.
What's up, people? How we doing? Right. We good? Give it up to all the poets that hit the stage tonight so far. That was pretty good. Let's see. Seems like getting my mic situation worked out. Here we go. All right. You guys mind if I take a picture of you? Is that cool? Is that cool? My Instagram game is really weak right now. I'm trying to bulk that up. And I figure the best way to do that is to take more pictures, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to start, I've been hashtagging university. So if you go there, you'll find some, pretty much, I think I've gotten everyone that's hit the stage so far today. But, I mean, come on, what beats a good crowd shot, you know what I'm saying? So, paid a lot of money for this phone, it better look good, all right? Damn, I need like a wide lens. Hold on. Oh, I'm all artistic. I got the mic in the shot. All right. What is Is there like a call? Is there something famous on campus like everyone says or some shit? No? No? I tried for y'all. All right. We're just gonna do this on a simple count. 1, 2, 3. Cheese. Oh, people still say cheese? That's what's up. I was unaware. All right. So I was debating what poem I wanted to start with. This first poem kind of gives you a pretty good idea of what the rest of the night's gonna look like for me. So, my daughter loves bubbles. My daughter fucks with bubbles. It doesn't matter who's blowing them. We could be outside with emphysema for all she cares. I don't want to tell her that a mother sits in city council meetings where old white politicians blow smoke at her all day, but she is a triple homicide of being black, a woman, and armed with an opinion, but my daughter is young, don't understand this yet. What she does understand is that mommy's clothes smell like something is burning whenever she picks her up from daycare. I imagine even a 2-year-old can tell the difference between a bonfire and a blaze burning the bodies that were too many for the swollen graves to hold. But mommy just trying to stay away from those valleys with the big white crosses. You know, they used to say, you have to bury those crosses nigga deep so that no one will ever want to uproot them. There are plots in the South where the souls of black folks still sitting in the earth. Skeletons lined up spine to spine like the way the ancestors were brought here. When I say South, I mean Southeast Ohio, where in the good old days, you get $75 a head for return the runaway, only $25 if you only return the head itself. My daughter doesn't know this either, but when she learns it, the word black will become physical like smoke off a defiant body. Believe it or not, she's seen a man catch fire before. Every time her father says nigga without flinching, she doesn't know about venom yet. But fangs make an appearance at our dining room table every time her parents come home still feeling like American. No, my daughter knows remote, and juice, and chair, and iPad, and ceiling, and ceiling, and ceiling, and ceiling, and no. My daughter says no a lot. Did you hide daddy's keys? No. Did you spill your water? No. Are you going to share your toys? No. Is that a new dress for the dance? No. So what you getting into tonight? No. But trust me, it's cool. No, no, no. I stopped punishing my daughter for saying no in hopes that she never feels at the time she can't say it. Her mother once told a man no with a crowbar. Her mother once told a man no with a look. Her mother once told a man no with her husband. My daughter doesn't know this story, but I know she appreciates the parts of it where things break. My daughter breaks things because she knows our backyard ain't 40 acres and wants to call it even. My daughter breaks things because she knows how easily things can be broken. This is a metaphor she does understand, which is why she runs to my legs every time the boys her age get too grabby. When the boys get too grabby, she knows daddy has to fight the urge to bury their parents nigga deep. My daughter loves dogs. She pets dogs like she's killing a fly. My daughter don't know subtlety yet. Considering how many men don't either, I don't know if I'll ever teach her any. But she loves those dogs. Dogs bite. She knows this. She bites too. She don't really bark though. She laughs like a sickle. So, a lot of the poems that you guys are going to be hearing from me tonight, you know, I kind of write in phases. I'm finished my second book, actually, that's coming out later this year. But a lot of it is this kind of identity of this very big transition in my life of like before I got married and now married with a child, and also like I'm a storyteller, tell a lot of stories in my work. So like this adolescence and kind of figuring out how I came to be whatever the hell it is that I am. And so there's a lot of that. So I'll have a lot of those poems in there too. All of which, either good or bad, are all true stories. So it's called North Courts. We don't know the kid who lives in the house with the windows that look like shark teeth, but we did watch his older brother hit the pudgy boy up the street with a hammer. So we pretended we wanted to play ball on the North Courts this time over the protesting of one of our crew who had cursed that court ever since he turned his ankle so badly it sounded like a murder of crows had been frightened of flight when he broke it. But the North Courts always got the older kids, and my cousin says, well, that's how you get better. But my father says that's how you get bruised ribs and lips that won't shut for a week. Still, we run 3 games before someone recognizes one of us played varsity as a freshman last year, and he ain't missed a shot since his dad got pinched during the last snowfall. He hits 2 more before some cat they call Black shoves him into the basket support, which is little more than steel and paint chips. My friend spits out everything loose in his mouth into the grass before calling for the rock and going past Black so easily he had time to look back before making the backboard sing with the layup. And when the shoving starts, and everyone becomes a different name than the one they arrived with, Black and his friends start walking towards the car with no intention of leaving. We always used to run at this part. Never sure if we were just playing the role of being scared or if a bullet was going to jump up and grab one of us by the torso. But this time, we plant ourselves in center court, the ball between my feet like a dare. Black don't know that earlier today, we watched the boy's forehead politely submit under a hammer's urging. And besides, there ain't no other courts that open this late at night anyway. So, a lot of the poems that I've been writing for the last year or so, a very funny thing, and look, and everyone has some identity that they claim to. Some of them are just more visual or more politically spoken of than others, right? But sometimes as writers, we feel like people, no one wants to hear that, right? And some people don't. Fuck them. So what? But I had, you know, when I first started writing, I first started performing, I had this thing, and it like burns my eardrums when I hear people say it now. It's like, man, yeah, I mean, I don't want to be like a Black poet though. And like that made sense to me like 7 years ago. And now it's really hard for me not to drop kick someone out a window when they say that. Because it's, you know, what the fuck you gonna do? Not be a Black poet? Like, if I write a poem about the snow falling outside, guess what? It's a Black poem because I fucking wrote it, right? And I had to come to this epiphany of what I was talking about and what people wanted to hear, and it's like, you know what? If you're here and you're listening, then you wanted to fucking hear it, as far as I can see. So, one of the poems, and I've written a ton around just this experience, right? And trying to thread the needle and it be an authentic conversation. So this is one of those poems. It's called Cremation. Some mornings, it's the 41 shots for what you have in your pockets. Some nights you sleepwalk into a BART station with clouds of handcuffs. I'm a Black man, and this should not come as new information, but it definitely bears repeating. Like the times I pounded Black into my poems until it became a steam engine of anger. I'm a picket line of eclipsed moons some days against my own Blackness. I've avoided family reunions for years because I don't know what to wear to a mass grave. I assumed. No one wants to listen to these Black on Black cries for help, but I remember a record player will continue its revolutions even after you leave the room. My mother never intentionally reminded me that I'm a Black man, except when she would forward me news clips of Black men dying for nothing. Her sisters were a venue. Her father seated 6 women and 1 man. This is proof I come from a long line of blood and mercy. I am Black for all the reasons the sky is full of things we pretend aren't there. I was born under a Black moon, which is to say I was Blackness with no fences. This is typical, to become aware in darkness, to love the adjustment of vision in spaces you were not intended to see, especially when you were always left there to die. If you've ever tried to clip the legs of a centipede and wondered how it continued to crow, then you know that America vibrates under a Black tongue. And as an aside, you ever like use this logic to call my wife a centipede? She usually has the tendency to poke holes in your prayers with the delicacy of a firing squad. She is a Black star of hungry laughter, but Black stars, they don't fall from the sky. They grow planets under their feet. My wife's favorite phrase is, let me tell you stories of my childhood, which actually means this is what life was like for a Black girl on fire before so many hands tried to push me towards the river. And unlike my mother, she will never let me forget that I'm a Black man before the salt water. I can never forget the hierarchy of the crown, lest king, lest my daughter have no name to speak back in her mirror. My father, the blackest man I know, simply for the reason that he is still alive. He once beat me for not remembering that survival is a melanin armor that never needs polishing. My father's family is a line of storytellers, witcher women, and bolt-action rifles. This is where I was given the art of placing ammunition along my gums to recite history. We are not the superstitious sort, which doesn't mean we are without ritual. Like the way my father and I once prayed with baseball gloves, tossing salvation back and forth in a blackless field for hours. And how my sister turned her blackness into a crop circle of tarot cards in the backyard. This is how she finds love in the spit and the bonfire those dying crows make in the backyard. I know that I'm important, not because I'm a poet or a father or a giver of stories, but because they keep trying to kill me. They keep trying to kill me. But I'm not done with this skin yet. Man, how we doing? We good? We good? Yeah. All right. Man, you always come up here with a plan, and then that plan is gone very quickly. All right. So let's do this, and I'll lighten it up a little bit. I'll speak to this after I read this poem. A trend of poems I saw tonight that has been kind of pretty encouraging. So, it's called Manifest Destiny. When you said her, you meant her. When you said what you're doing tonight, you meant what do you plan on wearing. When you said it's warm for February, you meant the bulky clothes at home. When you said your whole crew is coming, you meant the pack doesn't miss a good hunt. When you said where's the party at, you meant where is the best place to pick up the scent. When you said you can't wait for tonight, you meant you haven't ate all day. When you said you haven't ate all day, you meant famine is a plague. When you said the party's at capacity, you meant the creatures move like the animals before a natural disaster. When you said there's some gorgeous women in here, you meant famine is a plague and you will not succumb to the thinning of your hands. When you said high, you meant high. When you said high, you meant teeth. You meant dark. You meant dark like a night you can't remember the next day. You meant a Rick Ross cocktail. You meant the third drink is the new consent. You remember everything. How the room was so ashamed the windows drew their own blinds. She laughed a lot when she was drunk. She wanted to stay at the party. She wanted to be close to her friends. The more her words slurred, the less value they had to you. Her dress probably felt as pretty as it looked. There was a moment when you thought, this doesn't belong to me. There was a moment when you thought, everything belongs to me. When you were a freshman, your older brother told you that you never turned down sex in high school. You never mentioned anything about actually being turned down. When you asked if she was okay, you meant you feel really bad if she cried. When you said, what's your problem? You meant all sales are final. When you said it's no big deal, you meant you've been taking kisses since grade school. When you said it's not like she was a virgin, you meant when the stock price drops, you should feel lucky someone is still buying. When you said you can't help yourself, you meant pinning down the cute girls, how we're taught to tell a crush we like them. When you said you liked her, you meant thanks for not fighting me. You meant thanks for silence. You meant the American dream says you can have anything you want. You meant famine is a plague and you will eat your weight in rejections. You are deserving. You are owed this. You take and you take and you take. The wallet dropped by the man no longer belongs to the man if someone stumbles upon it. We are bred to stumble upon it. How do you think we got all this land in the first place? When you said she never actually told you no, you meant you never bothered to ask, what would you have done if she didn't tell you yes? So, let me say quickly, or as quickly as I can say it, I'm not very succinct sometimes, that there is a number of poems from men tonight speaking on the issue of sexual assault, of pressuring, of coercion, which is awesome. 5 years ago in the open mic, I wouldn't have heard anything approaching that, which is cool. But we also have a responsibility in talking to men in particular to not co-op a struggle either. So if you're writing that poem, be genuine about it. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of responsibility with it. Imagine if you are black and someone comes up and does a poem about black, someone white comes up and does a poem about black struggle, you want it to be authentic, like not so it gets a bunch of applause and vice versa, and you know how we treat other people. So I think that's important. I think that's a growing awareness, but we got a responsibility there too. So big ups for that. Yeah, let's do this. Do house parties still happen?
I think so.
So there's different versions of it, right? So when's the last party you went to? Party, where was it at? Was that your brother's birthday party? How was your brother? This determines everything.
We have poetry potluck parties at my house.
Potluck party. Is there a DJ?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Can I crowdsource? Who's been to a party within the last month? Okay. Where was it at? Was it at someone's house? Was it a campus activity? Been there. Like, this is a motherfucking party? All right. Cool. So, this is called, it's another story, another true story, unfortunately. This is called Fire Engine Red. I'm originally from Akron, Ohio. Anyone here from Ohio? You're from Akron? No kidding. Congratulations on making it out. That's awesome. Hey, look, there's a very simple term for people that are from Akron or Youngstown or some of the other dying cities in Ohio. We call them survivors. It's awesome. So, this is called Fire Engine Red, Akron, Ohio. Good Lord, I date myself every time I announce this poem, 1999. Yeah. I did this at a high school, and a kid right up front was like, damn, you old. I'm like, you know what, you little bastard? I'm about to do this whole poem in your chest. That's cool, all right. Always tell them, if the DJ don't play that slow jam medley when I pull a Tony into the dance floor, some furniture gonna get moved around in this bitch. Can't help but want to share this heat with someone that can still smile through the sweat. Marcus been having these house parties every Saturday night. Like, we ain't got nothing more important to do on a Saturday night. Because we don't. Not as long as we keep two-tone Tony. The only DJ that'll spin for a great fade on some half-hearted lap dance through the night. Tony started scratching his name into his big brother's records till he got his own collection. Now, he's the only cat our age that can spend a legit slow dance hour without having to repeat an album. And speaking of age, every time I park in the grass lot, and I gotta walk across Brick Street, here come Miss My Guy yelling her crazy cat lady minds the actual cat shit at me. No one knows what her real name is. We just call her Miss My Guy because the only thing she ever says is, my God, they're going to kill us all. My God, they're going to kill us all. It's not exactly what you're trying to hear while walking into a tinderbox of lust and brick dust. I could feel the base of the room orgasm before I walked in here. You think the tree roots that went down on the building foundation the way we sway. One hand tempting fate above her hip, the other playing upright bass along her spine. Every tumble on my fingers is the honorable death of a cricket along her back. I can feel her move into me, and my body is a vacant lot with a half-empty beer bottle as praised by a drifter. And I know that this is the heaven I've promised to these, but they rarely get to see. And I am so relaxed at this point. I don't even feel the drunken gravity of Marcus against my back doing his respect my house speech while spilling alcohol over everything now occupied by humans, which there can't be less than 35 of in this purgatory we were all promised to ride home from. We are all young and full of potential life, which make the floorboards the second floor apartment the strongest condom I've ever seen. And while Latanya putting the voice of God in my ear, two-tone Tony wires spark like the antlers of the last two deer alive. And the ensuing fire follows his Marcus' shit talking to her towards the kitchen. And I watch the couch that Latanya and I playing for 2 a.m. go up in polyester hell. Those that are drunk scream. Those that are sober scream and run, except for Latanya and I, who are more pissed about the couch and not about my parents getting a notification in the morning. But we move with the herd anyway. I resist the urge to hoist my black swan on my shoulder and reenact a different world there. No pictures of this on the wall, just a bunch of former slaves with whip marks across the flesh and part of their boat. Trying to forget about being the poor black kid with a dad that played fights but never learned to pull back on his punches. As we descended to the black, I realized I don't come for the party. I come for the fresh air on my face after the party. Being reborn always feels more appropriate in the ghetto at 3 a.m. than it does anywhere else. but it's not 3 a.m. The fresh air that I was promised lost Virginia the pepper spray tonight. LaTanya is clawing her eyes out of her head with both of them over, coughing into her elbows. The police officer tells us to get on the ground. And now remember, the only thing that brings cops to the hood are noise complaints and fires. And while Tony is arguing with the cops for not letting him back into the inferno, where his Al Green collection makes a distinct smoke pattern from the second floor window, but the cops, they don't know that 3 T's who played Billy beat him up in high school, and he flattens 2 of them before the third reaches back to Kansas with a billy club and makes 3 T's left arm twitch like it's hitting the fade. The other 2 cops start beating on the not yet dead body of Two-Tone Tony 2, and here comes Marcus running serpentine, the alcohol still in his blood, and I pounce upon LaTanya in a completely different way than I intended to 30 minutes ago. The cops push back Marcus into a couple who convince themselves it'd be a good idea to get out of the house now. There's Marcus, drunk, high, and mourning the impending death of his house DJ, ignores the warnings, ignores the clicks of holsters and ammunition belts, and reaches for the Crown Royal bottle that has shattered in his frugal back pocket. It's not to the third bullet makes an inverted etch-a-sketch of his breastplate that I hear LaTanya whisper into the grass, my God, they're going to kill us all. My God, they're going to kill us all. I can only hope her tears will make something grow here, 4 feet away from shell cases of paralysis. A guy who graduated 2 years ahead of me whispers, too old for this shit, which must mean that bullets is something that we're all too old for. And death is a surprise birthday party. You're the only person that shows up. Through the haze, I hear Ms. My Guy sitting at the edge of the grass lot, staring at me as only a doomsday rancher that correctly predicted the fall of the throne could. She's not ranching anymore. She just missed silence tonight. Just missed silence tonight. She just missed. So, if I can find this, we'll lighten it up a little bit. I've been dark on you guys. I know. My bad. Life, man. She's rude. All right. So, let's see. Here we go. This is another true story. This is the instruction manual for installing your garbage disposal. Evans Family Edition. That'd be my family. Step 1, please clear space under the sink of all objects, cut off power to disposal via the circuit breaker. Step 2, if you're replacing the existing garbage disposal, skip to step 5. Step 3, when removing an existing garbage disposal, place the wrench around the socket, support the disposal as it becomes free-falling once it is loose. Step 4, shit, huh? Nothing. Almost dropped this damn disposal on my head. Step 5, remove the plate on the bottom of your new disposal to connect the power source. Step 6, Amira, get away from the bleach. Get away from the bleach. No, don't make me repeat myself. Amira, put that down. Put that down. I swear to God, Amira. All right, yes, you can bring that to Daddy. Bring it here to Daddy. Yes, good girl. Now go sit with Mommy. Go sit with Mommy in the living room. Go sit. You know what? Here, how about you take this to Mommy? Step 7. Connect appropriate positive and negative wires to the corresponding power source. Make sure to ground the green wire as well. Step 8, Amira, what do you want? Amira, no, use your words. Yep, are you thirsty? All right. I thought you had some juice. Juice box? Mommy said you have one already. It's in the living room. Amira, you know what? Go watch Little Einstein. Go watch Little Einstein song. Go watch Little Einstein. Einstein, that's good. Einstein, smart girl. All right, what is Einstein? Really smart guy, beat out Hitler for Time Man of the Century. Okay, go watch Little Einstein. Go on, all right. Step 9, refasten the plate on the bottom of the disposal to feed the power cord through the corresponding socket. Step 10, position disposal to connect the sink connector in the dishwasher applicable. Step 11, Amira, sweetie, you can't be in here. You can't be in here. It's dangerous. Amira, okay, stop crying. Daddy's almost done. Go play with Mommy. Ow! Nigga, did you pinch me? Are you serious? Baby, my bad. I'm sorry, I was frustrated. I didn't mean to call her daughter a nigga. I know, I was bad, my bad. I was wrong. Can you help me out? A little bit? I'm almost done. No, I'm not in a bad mood. No, I'm seriously not. I just want to get this done. Dude, no, really? We're gonna do this now? We're gonna argue right now? I got my hand halfway up the sink's ass and you wanna do this right now? Okay, look, I could have been done by now. All I'm saying is I could have been done by now. What? Wait, where's Amira at? Step 12, baby, you can't wait 5 minutes to make tea? 5 minutes, I promise. I know. It's cloudy in here. I don't want you to hurt yourself because I didn't need to. No, the water's because I didn't need to because the water doesn't run through the disposal unless you turn the sink on, which you're trying to do, and I need you not to do that. Okay, yes, I turn the power off because it's only at disposal. Because you think I know? I think I know what I'm doing. I think I know what I'm doing. I swear to God, I just need 5 minutes. Step 13. Secure the disposal and make sure the pipe and the sink and dishwasher are aligned properly. Step 14, restore the power and test the disposal. Step 15, Amir, I'm just going downstairs. I swear I'm just going downstairs. I'm gonna be 30 seconds, but because you can't. Because you can't. Because it's dirty down there. Hey, go get your shoes. Okay, you caught me. Okay, no, push me. All right, hey, how about this? Count to 10 and I'll be back. Count to 10 and I'll be back. Okay, 1, 2, no, do about, you can count by yourself. You don't need, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Amir, I can't count with you. I have to go downstairs because I have to. Leah, come get your child. Come get your child. I'm tired of this shit. Come get your child. I've been doing this shit all day. No, I don't care about cussing right now. I just want to get this shit done. Can you get your child? My bad. I was cussing a lot there just now, wasn't I? Hi, baby. You good? You ain't gonna say that in school, is you? Give him one more? Yeah, let's do one more. Okay. Thank y'all for having me. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much. I got a tough decision here. All right, so I'll let you guys choose. I got a poem, because you guys have heard a lot dark tonight, but I have a poem about, I was talking earlier about being a black man. I love being a black man, especially, it's always exciting. I can die any day. So I love, but seriously, hey, look, if we can't laugh about it, then this is going to be a miserable existence, you know what I'm saying? But I have a poem that deals with the women that are left after tragedy strikes us. Or I have a poem where I say the word black a lot, and yeah. Which is not what it seems, but. All right, we'll just pick one or two. Can I crowdsource? Well, let's have the room, 1 or 2, consensus. 1, that's the loudest thing I heard over here. See, that's just, okay. 2 was the loudest one I heard. No, I'll do this one. We have a little more fun with this one. All right. This was 1, by the way. All right. Black. And black said black, said black, said black, said black, said sky. And sky said black, and sky said bigger, and sky said space. And space said black, and space said, it's dark as a motherfucker out here. And space said form, said shape, said sex. And space said, bring me organs, bring me veins and kidneys, bring brain, and if you're really bored, bring me heart. And black answered, as you wish. So black said Milky Way, said planets and stars, said earth, arrogant and fragile. And earth said earth until space went silent, and earth said alone, and space said remember me, and earth said nostalgia is the lowest form of conversation. And earth said animal, and animal said teeth. Earth said he, and he said teeth. And earth said he when earth really meant to say she and eat. And he said, nah, you were right the first time. And he said fire. And he said fire consumes all songs. And fire said back to he, I too know what it means to never go hungry. And he said language. He said hungry. And he said more. And he said thirst. And he said more. And he said thirst. And he said, where did she go anyway? And she said, when Adam delved and Eve spanned, who then was a gentleman, and he said, you better go somewhere with that equality bullshit. And he said, land. He said, mine. He said, war. And he said, mine. And he said, war makes good neighbors. And he said, white. And white said, nah, I'll pass. And he said, black. And black said, about damn time. And black said, where am I? And black said, but that ain't my name. And black said, but that ain't my name. And black said, the black only because we're cool like that. And black said, nigga, many, many times. Said ocean. Said shark, said better to know the intent of teeth than the empty of smiling faces. And black said, seriously though, where am I? And black said, lost. And lost said, forest. And forest said, I don't owe you anything. And black said, escape. And black said, escape. And escape said, the farther you run from yourself, the closer you get to never knowing the North Star ain't really freedom. And freedom said, run. Freedom said faster, and freedom said run, and freedom said wind, and wind said, did you forget about she? And wind said, her name is so heavy, I tire to lift this beauty off my chest some days. And Escape said, you miss her, don't you? Black said, I don't remember. Escape said, my bad. And Black said, death is the grand explosion, and she is the bunker I am too ashamed to hide inside of. And Black said, on my way. And she says, welcome home. You were a fool to leave in the first place. Down the way, I hear them talking about this whole Big Bang thing. They ain't even seen me yet. Let's watch the explosion again. I bet you we can do it this time together. My name is William Evans. I'm from Columbus, Ohio. Thank you all for having me. All the folks on the stage are really had a good time. I threw photos up on the hashtag for the university. So if you're on stage and you want like a free photo of you, and the camera's okay, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I ain't get like your dimples and shit, but like I got most of your likeness. It's up on there. And thank you guys for having me. I appreciate you.
Only $5, ladies and gentlemen.
And I have like 4 of them left.
Yeah, it's so reasonable. Hi, Ian. How's it going, Ian? What time did they tell you we were going to be done, Ian? What? You're kidding.
No. I'm fine today. I'm crushed.
Oh, he said he's enjoying it.
Thank you, Ian! It was never done. I was afraid it was 10. And it's not going to be 10. Because poets are never on time for anything. Ever. I'm just make it be true. This is William Evans from Columbus, Ohio. Thank you very much for coming out here today. Thank you everybody who came out here today. We're not done yet. We have 3 more poets. Can you handle 3 more poets?
Yeah.
When I ask you a question, I expect you to answer it with gusto. 3 more poets. Can you handle 3 more poets? Okay, KonciouSLea is a writer, published poet, children's author. When he is not on the planet stage, he roams the earth as the mild mannered Kenya Smith. The power is through the pen for him, with topics ranging from glimpses of his childhood, sex, and gang violence. Anything that strikes his heart stands to be written about. If it isn't penned immediately, one can bet that it's placed in the tank, where words are free to swim until they're fished out. KonciouSLea's only kryptonite is anyone without an open mind. Given the chance, he can save you from your woes if you are. KonciouSLea coming up. Thank you, KonciouSLea, for streaming on the internet. Hold on. This is KonciouSLea.
What's up, y'all? Got a couple, just a couple pieces. I got a short piece that I wrote some time ago to stick with the theme. And I took the opening line of each stanza from Langston Hughes' poem, Let America Be America Again. Let America be America again. Conform to when it all began. Bend minds like rainbows, paint unicorns black. Let America be America again. Let America be America again, they say with forked tongues and brag. Thump Bibles with a hypocritical truth. Make excuses for the one who killed that black young man. Deny equality but want to shake your hand. Let America be America again. Let America be America again. Why? When it's far from that in my eyes. The homeless cry, veterans, our guys. Treated like enemy spies, hunger pains and melted brains, yet they refrain from taking lives. Let America be America. Run! You'll only say that I am un. Yet the scales are always tipped, but favor none. In my truth, you want tight lips, but call me your son. Let America be America again. This poem is called Molestation's Gift. I wrote it a few years ago when I first started slamming, actually in 2010, 2011, and I came out with it, got a pretty good response to it. But then I revised it and got over like 1,000 hits on my Facebook page about it. And so this is Molestation's Gift. The walls in that apartment can tell the story better than the mind. It speaks with the stench on its breath of wild Irish rose and reaches out with heroin-filled veins. The insides cry and swell in a room where toy army men were used to try to groom innocence into a monster. The only thing left are parts of a looming pain with seeds in its wake and partners wondering why. These parts cannot be underestimated, for they are bigger than the most generous heart. He carries Brooklyn on his back. He carries every transitional journey from state to state and piles on more for those who walk the same track. Humble and broken. He totes it for the thugs unspoken, for loves unchosen, for those doing the big, leaving the shank in the offender's heart hoping that it's the same gift giver who offended him. He never knows as he goes through life aimlessly seeking self, relationships and consistencies ruining his health. Because although fucking always feels good, he never means to fail at love. That focus is like the sniper behind the scope. It remains in sight, though the war internally rages on. The walls in that apartment can tell the story better than the mind of how a childhood lost may never be found. The straw of hay in the pincushion, he is stuck every time. A new focus of truth is found. Blood pours from fingertips which a bandage can never hold. Now old and clotted, it remains hardened, yet hopefully pardoned in this wake. For goodness sake, save me. Outstretched arms, prays he. Let this poem be someone else's grave. Just let it be someone else's grave.
Thank you, KonciouSLea. Okay. Joshua is currently a freshman at Carnegie Mellon University with an intended major in business with a track in entrepreneurship and possibly finance, and a minor in music technology. He graduated in June 2013 from Parkdale High School, where he joined Lyrical Storm, the school's poetry slam team, becoming the 4th best team in the Washington metropolitan area, DMV, and the 1st place in Prince George's County. This is parentheses in case you didn't know. He has produced instrumental tracks since his beginning years in high school and has written for as long as he can remember. He is also involved with hashtag The Lounge. I saw Justin Timberlake do that once. Hashtag The Lounge. A collaborative focus on Joshua, a collaborative project amongst students to create an environment for artists, writers, etc. at the university. He hopes to continue to pursue a career in the music industry as an entertainment lawyer and artist/producer. Joshua!
Everybody hear me? I'm not good with adjusting mics. Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
You hear me? Okay, cool. So yeah, my name is Josh. I don't know if I'm going to be doing 2 poems or 1. I'll kind of find out after I do the first one. But the thing with my poems is I kind of pretty much take, which I guess you could call them personal identity crises, and use them to address bigger subjects. So I guess you'll find out how that works out with my first poem. This poem's called Dear Uncle Sam. Dear Uncle Sam, I am a Nigerian man that has been born into American soil. And because we're related by blood, maybe that's why I prefer hip-hop and go-go over dancing to Niger bands, or jeans over lace, or rap bars over dance farm, or agnostics over Christianity, or good music over God music, or most of all, Ebonics over pigeon. Listen, I was raised in your society while told to live for another, so please imagine the repercussions of grabbing a bird, throwing that bird into the water, and still expecting them to fly, so please do not blame me for developing gills instead of wings, because I'm just adapting to my environment after all, see a long time ago. I asked my father and mother, why do all of my relatives know how to speak my native language of Idoma, but I don't? It was then that she informed me of the dire decision you forced them to make, in which they agreed to teach me and my siblings English first in order to excel in class and academics, but then my native language, but the then never came to pass. I suppose maybe that's why my knowledge of Othello comes at the expense of my ignorance towards Okonkwo. Now the only thing we have in common are the 2 worlds that we live in, so you can best believe that both of these things are falling apart. And if you read Ochebe's book, you would understand the African pun. If not, I guess you just don't know my people. Matter of fact, scratch that. Call them Africans like you always do, because Uncle Sam, you gave me no right to claim them anymore. See, my family has been filled with Africans speaking in American accents for generations upon generations. Uncle Sam, you made me the only one, vice versa. My mom always told me, Josh, find a girl with good African roots. I said, okay, Mom, long as her hair has no African roots. She says, hold on, son, what are you saying? Because last time I checked, you were African too, but now, Mom, see, you keep on dodging the truth, because in all honesty, you, Dad, and Uncle Sam never even asked me to choose. The truth of the matter is, Mom, I was African in the placenta, but the moment that you began crowning in the top of my head meant incoming American heir rather than the crown of an African prince. I was born a U.S. citizen. See, Uncle Sam, you always told me there was a time and place for everything. There was a time and place for everything. There was a time and place for everything, but you made my mother birth me in between both, Uncle Sam. You always say that if I cannot beat them, join them, but what happens if neither is an option anymore? Uncle Sam, how dare you give me A's in class and academics when I begin to fail immediately when I cross overseas? Because see, what you told me was that knowledge was universal. But see, now I realize I know all of the words except for the ones that truly matter, such as las palabras para mí no son significantes unless I give a twist and turn like the ones I just gave in Espanol. Bravo. Hope you all see the sorrow, how I can use Spanish to spit some shady Jay-Z puns that when it's all said and done, I don't even know my own native tongue, the tongue that you molded to become foreign, changed me from saying Prince to 3/5 of a man who had 2/5 of his classes today before 12 o'clock p.m. on MLK Day. If I can't speak myself, I can't think myself. And if I can't think myself, I will never know me. And if I will never know me, Uncle Sam, do not ever think that it'll be easy for you to. Thank you. Alright, so I'm kind of feeling it, so I guess I'll do another one. No, because the thing, I don't like having to hold stuff because I don't have steady hands. So, like, you guys might see me like kind of going like this, but yeah, this is just another example of the whole identity theme that I was kind of going for. This one's called pseudo-power. I have a pseudo superpower. In short, a pseudo-power. See, I'm versatile. I can talk eloquently while I loquaciously caress the bodies of words and their respective synonyms until they give birth to semantic sentences and wear a facade of heightened intelligence just because I can enunciate every syllable that sips out of my parting lips. Or I can just tell y'all straight up, I talk good as shit. really, really good. Like nobody around my way is messing with me. But because I can assume the proper vocabulary with just the amount of accent, I can assume any persona that I want, talk fancy and make the professor sweet forward or start cooling, so the mild demeanor fluctuates from a dick with proper diction to one of the boys that has nothing to lose because he has already lost it all. I am the embodiment of every stereotypical high school clique. Combined into one being, I can become like anything, talk like anyone, and become attached to it all. I can please anyone except for my own inner conscience. He has never been pleased because I lost the persona for him. I learned how to switch between social ladders like an indecisive female caught between her rock and a hard mate, but not how to please my own self. See, I adapted between teams like Shaquille O'Neal's basketball. This cavalier can spit magic with heat as hot as the sun, but not with my own flesh and blood. When something is done that I cannot mimic, I do what my personality taught me, and I split and assume the next, but I cannot split my genes just because I forgot how to act as myself. My jokes that are either intellectual observations or ignorant comments about the environment around me are not greeted with the same laughs as the ones closest to my own funny bones. The inside jokes aren't fun. When you're banging in from the outside, I don't know the persona for that. My feet that lean against the brick wall behind me as someone whose name I did not have the decency to ask for, even want to, dances on me as if we were long-lost soulmates destined for each other. Wine and grind and murder she wrote, to teach each other how to dougie or scorn by the critiques of the voices in my own head. I don't know the persona for that. My hands that don't quiver at the tip of a pencil shake vigorously when my siblings and cousins and peers place a basketball between them. That sport was never my strong suit. See, these hands don't erase anything of the words that they create, which is why they can't cross over anything. And even though others accept that the voices in my head cannot, as I cry out to them, I don't know the persona for that. My lips cannot assume an accent from a country that I have only been in twice in my entire life at the snap of a finger as I cry out to myself saying, see me, I know they find out the persona for that one. My mind that flips through vocab, composed of grammar, diction, articulation, word execution, wider vocabulary, terminology, proper English composed of informal speech, casual talk, slurs, colloquialisms, DMV vernaculars, jargon, lingo, street talk, and slang composed of spoken word, bars, raps, lines, pieces, songs, iPhone notes, junk freestyles of frat parties across the street of my dorm room, coupled up papers of words in the trash can, uploads of emotion on a microphone stand, poetry and performance, poetry and performance, poetry and performance, white speech, black speech, and the words from this pseudo-powered Oreo could not find out the correct words, actions, and mindset to finally put my soul at ease, because I don't know my persona anymore, because I don't know me anymore. See, I've been so busy learning every single persona for everything else around me that I forgot the one that truly mattered.
Thank you, Josh. Hey, yes. One more time. Did you guys have fun? Are you having fun? Do you like poems at Carnegie Mellon University? Spirit Presents in conjunction with Pittsburgh Poetry Collective? That's really long. Really long. Our last showcase presenter this evening for, who remembers the title of this event?
Forceful speech.
Yeah, whoever just said that gets a free chapbook from the CoCSLea Slam team. Yay, boom. See, there we go. That's a really good way to give those away. Good deal. Forced through speech is Alicia Etinoff. Alicia, yay, I did it. Alicia Etinoff is a senior drama student at Carnegie Mellon School of Drama, specifically majoring in dramaturgy. She will pursue television and film screenwriting. Holy shit! She will pursue television and film screenwriting post-graduation. Alicia has been writing poetry since the age of 8 and hopes to continue to inspire people through her writing. Thank you, Alicia.
Good evening, everybody. My poem is inspired by an article I actually read a couple days ago about how MLK didn't just have a dream, but he helped suppress and to conquer fear. So that's where this poem comes from. Fear is a crippling disability when steeped in degradation, formations of inconsistent heartbeat, slowing and speeding depending on the color of skin. For skin is not just pigment or melanin, but tears of cower skin. Skin making cowards of the kings and devils into angels. Skin as wrapping paper over coal. Skin as dollar store Tupperware container to hold filet mignon. Skin as a bottle of fear. Skin as a constrictor. Stereotypes tightening its scaly hold on perception and advertisement of worth. Martin had a dream is MLK's brand. His logo, the black and white photo with his hand outstretched towards the marching masses, but that image is as misleading as the course descriptions to some of our classes. Martin didn't just have a dream, he had a theory. People were weary, but they listened to his formula of racial progression, conquering fear. Searing into the minds of his followers that they were above the constant threat of death, that dignity lay in running towards the threat, not away from the imminent danger. He said, no violence, but that there was strength in silence. There was dignity in action, that the missing faction of conquering racism was to stand together, unite, and say, no more. No more. No more. MLK wasn't just a dreamer or an orator, a pastor, and a radical teacher. He was a naysayer saying no. And oh, despite the consequences. And oh, even when it hurts. And oh, because YES might not just hurt you, but the ones that come after you could be subdued. And oh, because MAYBE could teach the wrong mastery of overcoming fear. MLK didn't just have a dream. He delivered right from the lips of God into the hands of those who weren't afraid to say, no, I'm not going to the back of the bus. And no, I ain't running from your rabid dogs. And no, I'm not getting out of your school. And no, I am voting. No, no, no. Fear steeped in degradation, formations of lies in our hearts that worth is a privilege and privilege is only skin deep. Let's leap into the abyss that is racial progression, running towards the issue, not running away in tears and tissues. We honor him today to say thank you for inspiring people of color to say no more to suppression and no more to exclusivity, but yes, yes to integration and yes to owning corporations and yes to the chance that one day, not today, but in a future day to say that our culture has fully adopted equality. Say yes to continuing to build steps upon Martin's delivery into the vicious teeth of white privilege. Fear is an empowering kick in the ass that tells us to keep trekking, for there is more towards the second coming, which fear will be no more. Thank you.
See, I can't even get through the intros. Thank you very much, Alicia. Thank you, Spirit. Carnegie Mellon, Chanel, Simone for putting up with me with all of the emailing. Yeah. Thank you, Skibo, for having us. Thank you, nice people who sent good snacks. Ian, for being here still. Bless you. Everybody give it up for Ian! Is there anyone here that's over 21? Raise your hand. See, that's pretty good. Okay, so right now we have monthly slam that's 21 and over. Sorry, you have to have your driver's license or your passport to get in. It is next Tuesday upstairs at Brillo Box on Penn in Upper Lawrenceville, right close to Children's Hospital. So that's where we are regularly. Get on our mailing list, get on our Facebook. You will find out when the All Ages Slam is going to be here on campus in February. Also, on February 4th, there's a slam in Duquesne. That is far out 51, but there is a bus that goes there. If you win that slam on February 4th, you get $100 of green money to take home with you in your pocket. So there you go. That's going to be fun. They're also having a show on Valentine's Day in Duquesne, $5 to get into that one. And on Saturday, February 15th, if you're me and you put your home phone number and address on the internet randomly so that everyone can see it, your mom can call you and be like, you put your address on Facebook again. I'm like, yeah, Mom, don't worry, it'll be fine. There is a potluck poetry show in my house for everybody who wants to come to see JG, the Juggernaut, who is also from Columbus, Ohio, conveniently. He will be here that weekend, so he's having a show on Friday night for 21 plus. We're having all ages potluck at my house, which is really fun. If you've never been to one, you should come because it's a really good time. We have good snacks there too. I'm just saying, snacks. And then the following Monday, that will be February 18th, TMAC has a feature for Speak on the North Shore, so that'll be on our Facebook as well. Don't forget to be on the mailing list. Don't forget to tell me your Instagram name or your Twitter name if you want to be tagged in your photos that we will be sharing over the next couple of days here on our Tumblr and on our Twitter for the Pittsburgh Poetry Collective. Does anybody have any questions? You guys, I really need you to do me one really big, huge favor. Will Evans has 4 chapbooks. They're $5 each. If all of you can't get together and buy all 4 of those chapbooks, we're going to have a problem. Okay? Only $5. It's so reasonable. It's so reasonable. I'm Lori Beth. I'm the host of the Steel City Slam with Pittsburgh Poetry Collective. I am really, 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 really honored to have been able to be here tonight and put this together with Simone and Spirit. And I thank you guys all so much for coming and staying and being an awesome audience. Thank you, Ian. Woo-hoo. Thank you to all the poets today. Do you remember who they are? Anna Voelker, Jude Waldo, Jacqueline Barnes, Jay, Shannon McCullough, Lexi Tess, Jay, Oriola, Dr. Tera McIntosh, Torrey, KonciouSLea, Joshua, Alicia, and Will Evans, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. Have a lovely evening. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
All right. Nope, not at all.